Okay. So, Namaskar and welcome to this webinar, Leading with GenAI. I prefer to call it GenAI because it makes me feel more comfortable rather than GenAI, rather than say, but it's your choice how you want to call it. But my experience with GenAI, or rather, I would call it a journey with GenAI, has been really outstanding. And the reason being that it is not that only when ChatGPT came into a, a picture I got involved. Rather, I was involved quite before that because of my association with Xerox Spark, where I was working with the Xerox team in building the a NLP based proposal management system. And although it was not Gen AI based, but it had a lot of AI components, and it was rather a AI native application, if I may have to say so. And that's where exactly my association with with AI started, and then that led even to a, an endeavor or to start or to build a product also. But somewhere we were at the cusp of the AI getting transformed into Gen AI, and the product, once Gen AI came, the product was not that would not have been relevant. So we thought of shelving the product, and maybe sometime later we would rebuild it with the Gen AI capabilities. But having said that, let us start with basically understanding uh, the objective of this particular webinar. Okay, everybody here, I'm sure, is rather you'd be living under a rock if you are not you are not discussing Gen AI, or you are not discussing Chat GPT at least once in at work or once in some time, and that's the reason that I'm thrilled to be here today as a part of this webinar, where what I'm going to do is basically, over this period of time, the exploration which I have been doing and the groundbreaking advancements which I have seen in Gen AI and the profound impact it is carving into the landscape of business. And I'm not only talking about bid and proposal management. I know most of you are from the community, but overall business, the impact it has been created, I would be talking about, I would be sharing that. And this is not only my experience, what I have seen or what I am seeing, rather it is also based on a lot of research which is happening, and a lot of research even by the top leading consulting companies like McKinsey. You'll see their references, McKinsey and Forrester. So it's entirely data driven. So whatever I'm going to talk, whatever I'm going to show, demonstrate, it is going to be based on some relevant research, relevant data in the market. Okay. Now, and I don't want this to be just another webinar where you passively absorb whatever information I'm sharing. I rather want to make it a conversation, a dialogue, and an opportunity for all of us to ignite that curiosity in us to explore Gen AI, understand Gen AI. Most of you till now, I'm sure, have done some research, have some understanding of Gen AI, and that's the reason why you are here. And let us try to ignite that curiosity in us to how to explore Gen AI further, challenge our perspectives, what we are thinking, and inspire a vision for ourselves that how Gen AI can be leveraged and to lead in this transformative world. Okay. Now, having said that, like imagine a world where machines they can not only understand our language, but they can also create with it. Now think about the possibilities and the endless avenues of transformation which we can even imagine, which can even cannot imagine, rather I say. So today we are going to discuss that, and discuss how Gen AI is making these possibilities a reality and how it is impacting the business. Because ultimately, our professional life, our professional career, our professional growth, everything depends on the business. If the business grows, we grow with it. If the business stagnates, we get caught up. If the business closes down, we are out of job. So we have a direct, our professional growth and career and everything is related to the business. So we will try to relate everything with the business and then see the downstream effect of it on the professional career, on the professional growth side of it. So that is how I want to take it through. And I would pause at every moment, and I would like to have your thoughts on how do you see and how do you what is your perspective. You may ask a question, you may share a experience, you may share a apprehension, and we will collectively, and not only me, everyone over here. I can see so many people are joining, 19 people right now in the room. Everyone will be having his own perspective. Somebody has a perspective, is open to share. So that's how we want to take it. But like any of my other webinars, what I do, I would not just like to only share the information or just like to talk about it. Rather, at the end of it, I would try. I will like to show you certain features which I have explored, which I am using, which some of them I have even used in this presentation. I would like to show you, demonstrate you that, so that you know that how Gen AI can be basically leveraged and how can we lead with Gen AI. So buckle up, and as we go through this thrilling journey through the transformative world of Gen AI, and we hope this webinar is going to lead us to a future of endless possibilities. So with that, let's move to the next slide. By the way, and all the images which you see in this presentation has been created by a Gen AI tool. Rather, it has been created by Stable Diffusion. I've used a DALI and Stable Diffusion both, but this particular image which you see, has been created by DALI, and I will show you how you can use DALI to even create images like this, which you can very well use it. By the way, how do you guys like the presentation cover image? Just show me a thumbs up. Let's
It's
see.
amazing.
Okay, good. So this is basically again, this is exact, and I will show you the exact prompt which I used to generate this image, and you guys, you can think like, well, okay, this is what are the possibilities now. Okay, so moving ahead with it. So why are we here now? This is a big question here today, because we all are here today because this excitement, this curiosity, this apprehension with this Gen AI has created since its release, it has led us to so many questions, so many possibilities, as well as a future where we are not sure. Everybody here, including me, is not sure of what shape it is going to take. That is the primary reason. It is not here. We are not here just to discuss what is a chat GPT or what is a LLM or what is a transformer model. Rather, where is it taking us? How is it impacting the business? So in this last couple of months, not even a year, because I think November will be the year, it will be the year. I think last 11 months, because November was I remember ChatGPT 3.5, 3 and 3.5 was released for public in November, and ChatGPT 4 came in. But within this period itself, so many tools like ChatGPT and then Bard and then Claude, Midjourney, so many tools have come into the fray, and there are so many questions buzzing around them. And not only us, it is basically from the CEOs at the helm of their organizations to the frontline sales teams, to the operational workers, we all have a common curiosity. Is this the next big thing, or is this just an hype or next technology buzz, what we are seeing? Now, you'll see that the phenomenon which we are witnessing today, and I will prove this, that what the phenomenon which we are witnessing today is not just hype. Okay, it's rather a game-changing opportunity, and that has the potential to reshape everything from the way we work, the way we create, whether it's content or whether it is any other artifact, a marketing artifact, or a video, or even the way we innovate. Okay. The public facing version of GPT, Chat GPT, when it came, we had a very astounding feat. The entire GPT reached a staggering 100 million users in just 2 months. And not only that, before that, AI was a very technical word. And not even in the technology world, even in the software world or the technology world, there was only a very niche segment of people or professionals who were accessing, who were basically who for whom AI used to be relevant. For others, it used to be some sort of a some black hole. Something happens there, and we don't know what happens there. Okay, but look at ChatGPT. What did it do? It democratized AI in a way that it became the fastest growing app in the history. And unlike all its other predecessors, and it is not that generative AI was not there. There were different models of other generative AIs like GANs and other like image transformer models used to be there. The image generation model, fake image generation models were used to be there. So all these were there. But the way ChatGPT took everything, democratized AI today, even a 5-year-old kid can use AI. So that is something which is remarkable, which had never happened before. And just like the way personal computers or even the iPhone changed the way we live and work, generative AI has brought or given birth to countless applications. The number of applications which we see coming into the market and being published in the entire in the technology landscape is amazing. It's for countless applications for different types of audiences, different types of business domains, different types of levels of the users, and anybody with an internet access can actually use those. You can use those applications or can explore those applications. Okay. So, right in this webinar, basically, we are going to look at the entire this Gen AI scenario in 3 dimensions. Okay. One, we will be looking into the current market landscape. We'll take a very close look at where we stand today and in the world of the generative AI, because that will give us a roadmap to the future that, okay, what does the future look like? The second, we will be looking at it from the evaluation phase. That is basically also that how has this technology been growing and where it is advancing, because that will give us a direction of what is going to come and what we should be prepared for. And the third dimension which we will be looking at is basically how are the leaders, how are the leaders in this particular domain, they're leading the pack, whether they are leaders in the app side, whether they are leaders in the services side, whether they are leaders in the product side, how they are leading the entire pack with the GenAI, and what capabilities and skills are they looking at, and what capabilities and skills do we need to have, because the way GenAI is impacting everyone needs to be aware or fluent or have certain capabilities to use GenAI to the basic to the advantage and to be at the leading level. Okay, so that's what we are going to look at. Okay, and as I said, at the end of it, I will show you certain. I will demonstrate to you certain features of GenAI, mostly ChatGPT, which are so new, and really you can see that how it is how you can leverage them in your work. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what is start with what is the current market scale. Okay, now if we look at around us, it is time that we acknowledge a very deniable truth that Gen AI is not just a fleeting trend. It is not a hype. It's a technology tsunami, and that's transforming the entire domain it touches. Whether we are talking about business or we are talking about the creative realms like movies or audio or videos and audio, or we are talking about education or the world of software engineering, Gen AI has left an indelible mark. It is there everywhere. And in the realm of business, it is not just an evolution, rather it is a revolution, I could say. Because Gen AI is rewriting the entire rule book of operations. It is reshaping how companies operate. It is reshaping how companies position themselves. It is reshaping how companies deploy their solutions. It's a and most importantly, it is a democratization of knowledge, which is at the forefront of the change. This change today with ChatGPT, the amount of information and the specific knowledge which you can get, it was no longer there before. We had Google, but Google gave us what existed. ChatGPT or GPT, generative pre-trained transformers, LLMs and generative pre-trained transformer based models, they have the capability to generate content. Today, there is some content which may be what we call as the hallucinated content, which may not exactly be the right, which may be a sort of misguiding, but there are so many mechanisms which are being developed to control that, and we are seeing the results. That ChatGPT 3. The difference between ChatGPT and the difference is so obvious and evident when you use ChatGPT 3.5 and when you use ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo or ChatGPT 4.0. You can see the relevance. You can see how much it is changing. Okay, and it is not only about the knowledge getting democratized, it's also about the relationships. The relationships between the client, a buyer and the seller, the relationship between the teacher and the student, the relationship between the parent and the child, even that is getting impacted. Okay, and Gen AI, it has taken it to such a level of engagement and personalization that today it is unimaginable that I can get a offer totally customized as per my requirements, which I have not even spelled, because AI is able to create those insights. And this way, it is basically becoming a sort of a game changer and redefining the entire landscape of the entire IT. Okay, and this is basically leading to the entire disruption of the technology, the way we were thinking of use, because earlier our thought of technology was to automate something which needed labor. We used to, all the automation, if you see around us, that those automation has been around processes or functions which needed human labor. But today, Gen AI is automating our thought process, our thinking process. Now that is a disruption. Now from the physical labor, we are now moving, Gen AI is now moving to the human intelligence. Because that was a labor. The intelligence is a labor which we put in, we think. Gen AI is now thinking for us. And these advancements basically They are changing everything around us, right from the business to the politics to the social media to education. Everything is getting impacted and changing. And if you see these figures around here, and these figures are coming from a survey conducted by IDC even this year. IDC is one of the leading research firms, and they, as per their research, 98% of the top global executives, they believe that they have to have GenAI in their strategic plan for the next 3 and 5 years. And believe me, it's not going to be 3 and 5 years. It is going to be even 2 years. The time span is shortening. 6 out of the 10 companies, out of every 10 companies, IT company or non-IT company, 6 out of them, they are investing in GPT. They are investing in not only ChatGPT, but GPT technologies for pilot projects. And many of them are going to be ready for testing or for production level. Many of them have come out with production level systems also, but there are very few. But most of them are in the pilot stage, and they are setting the stage for coming to production level by 2023. And overall, in the industry, over the IDC survey, in the overall industry, came out with that there is going to be a 40% of labor savings across various industry sectors. And as we go ahead, we will see certain other figures which have come out from research of by companies like IDC, Forrester, and McKinsey. So overall, if you see the democratization of the knowledge and the heightened level of client of relationships, of interactions, they are actually redefining the entire landscape of the technology landscape. Now, if you see this particular table, you will see that every business function is actually today exploring value in GenAI. There is no one such business function left out which is not saying which is saying that no, we don't see any value in GenAI. Every business function is trying to find out what are the use cases we can have in GenAI, whether it's marketing and sales, whether it's human resources, whether it's risk and legal. Everyone is exploring a value in GenAI. And if you see on the left hand side, this is the industries. These are the industries which are basically now already planned. This is because this is the early 2023 report. So these are the industries which have already invested in GenAI. If you see, the highest investment is coming from the life sciences. Pre-COVID, during COVID, the success of GenAI in COVID actually has bolstered, or rather catapulted, the entire investment in the life sciences. Following it, the banking industry, the finance industry, professional services industry, every industry. And this is early 2023. By end of 2023, I am 100% sure that these numbers would have doubled. The benefit which we are seeing, or this is the impact of GenAI which we are seeing in the market today. Now, with this particular, if we are seeing this particular impact, then what does it mean next? What it means is that, and why is this impact coming? Why didn't we see, like, IT has been there for more than half a century, rather more than half a century. IT has been there, but why haven't we seen this sort of impact before? The reason behind this is that GenAI has been impacting the 3 core areas, or basically value levers of every business. Okay. Now, if you see any business, the growth of any business depends on how efficient that business is, not only in the production of the or delivery of these services, but the efficiency in managing the organization, in managing its costs, in managing its operations, everywhere. Efficiency is one of the key value levers for every business. The experience, and when I say experience, it is the relationship, it is the feel, the emotional connect that business has with its customers, whether it's a B2B business or a B2C business or any business model. That experience and the insights, the capability to see the future and be agile to prepare itself for the future and take the future path and be ahead of the curve. What you say, being ahead of the curve. Gen AI has actually hit all the three. Automation was building. There were certain automation systems like we went for the ERP based systems. They were bringing in efficiencies. We went for CRM based system. We went for mobility and all these things. They were improving. We went for web based systems. They were improving the experiences. We went for the business intelligence applications or data analytics and all those things. They were providing the analytics. They were providing the insights. But they were all three different categories of softwares. What Gen AI is doing is, it is merging all these three together, and it is impacting all the three together. In one way, it is increasing the operational efficiency. Now you can do things which used to take days, months, years, or at least hours, can be done in seconds. Whether it's formatting of a document or translation of a document or summarization of a document, in a click, it happens. So you can see operational efficiency. And there's only one example which I'm giving. Data-driven decision making, analytics, thinking and data-driven analytics. Basically, earlier the data-driven analytics was mostly based on our historic data. Some applications have at least built that capability of going into real time, but that data was structured data. Today, Gen AI works on unstructured data. Whether it is a video stream, whether it is an audio, whether it is a text, it can read, it can hear, it can see, and come out and do what we call as the sentiment analysis, and can come out and say that what it is about. So it is driving decision making, and not only dependent on structured data, but even with unstructured data. Multimodal. Obviously, it is improving the customer experience, the experience with which you can use ChatGPT. A 5-year-old can use ChatGPT. That itself talks about what is customer, what sort of experience it is delivering. And the insights which it is generating, and the pace with which it is evolving, it is giving the competitive advantage. And the biggest is the human AI collaboration. It is not the human alone now. The co-pilots which we are seeing, whether the co-pilot for coding, whether a co-pilot for in Microsoft Word or Excel, or even a co-pilot in GitHub for coding, software engineering. Human and machine are working together. The power is now, it's not 1 + 1 2, it is 1 and 1 11. And that's exactly what Gen AI is impacting. And that's exactly what is happening around us. So with that, and how is this happening? Now that we have seen this, that what is the current market landscape, let me take a pause over here and let me see if there is any questions in the chat, or please feel free to type in any questions if you want, or if you have any discussions, if you have any questions. So please feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions, and everybody feel free to chime in and share your perspective. Let us make this more participative, more interactive, because everybody, because there is no expert over here. Everybody is only experiencing, and we are all sharing. I am only sharing my experience. Likewise, everybody here has got some experience. So please feel free to share your experience. Feel free to ask any apprehension. If you have any questions or any apprehensions, please feel free. Okay. So fine, let's move ahead. We can have discussions at the end. So now that we saw that this is the pace at which Gen AI is moving, what does it mean? What is the what is basically why it has been so impactful? Let's get to see. Now, one thing which you'll see observe here is that Gen AI is evolving at a rapid pace. I think before Gen AI, it was only Microsoft which used to come out with a version of Windows every year. Gen AI is coming out, the applications within Gen AI, and even with even let me take the example of ChatGPT. ChatGPT 3.0 came somewhere in March, 3.5 in November. No, sorry, ChatGPT 3.0 was in the pilot was somewhere in April 2022. November 2022, 3.5 was launched into the was launched as a public beta and a public version. March 23, 4.0 comes into play. And that's how basically, if you see the calendar over here, you can see the milestones over here. Yeah, see, November 30, December 12, December 26. Okay, and not only OpenGI, everyone else. Google comes out, Cohere comes out with the Claude. Then we have this Amazon's Bedrock model coming up. Then Facebook Meta coming out with this Llama. Just in the month of March 2023, there were 6 major developments. If you see here, Salesforce comes out with an Einstein GPT, which was using OpenAI's model, leveraging OpenAI model. March 13, OpenAI releases GPT-14, GPT-4. Anthropic, which is like a breakaway group of OpenAI, they created this platform called Claude, again another Gen AI platform, Claude. That gets released in March 14. March 16, Microsoft announces OpenAI integration within Microsoft products. March 21st, Google announces Google Bard. March 30th, Bloomberg announces a financial domain LLM. April 13th, Amazon announces Bedrock. And after that, now this is only the LLMs. This is basically the foundation models I'm talking about. Forget about the applications which are being built on this. They are coming not in dozens, but maybe 30, 40, 50 applications, 100 applications every month coming out. And if you talk, and the experts, the pace was so high that, and I'm sure many of you have heard of this, that around 200 plus scientists, innovators, thought leaders, they came together to sign a new order requesting governments to stop the development in GenAI, because for them it was impossible to keep pace with GenAI. That is the level of that is the speed, or that is the level of pace with which the development has been happening. Okay. Now, where is this leading to? If you see, as I said earlier also, like earlier, the automation, what we were talking about, that automation was where there was a repetitive task which needed human labor, that used to be targeted for automation. And the reason of automation was that is a repetitive task. It is not going to change over a period of time. So we can do it with a compute power, with the computing power. We can do it with more speed, with more accuracy. So that was the primary, and it would save cost, obviously. So that was the reason of automating that process or that function. But Gen AI is actually leading the path of automation of knowledge work, which means that today it is not about the process or the business function. It is about the intelligence. It is about the capability of the human being to execute that process which is being automated. And that is impacting whom? Obviously, those who are the most involved with the knowledge. That is the knowledge workers, whether they are teachers, whether they are business and legal professionals, whether they are health professionals, anybody who is driving a process based on a domain knowledge, they are the most probable candidates for automation through GenAI, because GenAI now has the capability to automate your thinking or automating intelligence. And that's the reason, if you see here on the right hand side, the comparisons, that the dark blue one is basically the the potential of automation prior to GenAI and after GenAI. So if you see in education and workforce training, the potential training was the possibility was 15%. What you used to have automation was having a LMS or a learning management system, scheduling programs, but ultimately the training was being delivered by a human being. It has grown to 54%, and now trainings are being delivered by digital avatars. You don't need even a human being for delivering a training. Look at office support. The possibilities of office support, and that's the reason why IT industry thrived, because IT industry was automating every support function. It was 66%. The possibility, 66% of the jobs, or basically the processes within the office support, can be automated. Now it has become 87. So we can see, and you can see on the left, on the right hand side, you can see the number of what is the share of the total employment, like what percentage of the employable of the people employed. So basically 4% of total employable people are from the education and the workforce system, whereas office support is 9%, customer service and sales is 10% of the total workforce, global workforce, and this is the global data, is the total global data. So this is exactly what Gen AI is doing. But in this entire journey of Gen AI, if you see, there are certain leaders who have taken the lead and they are driving. And what are those things, what they are doing, what is different, what they are doing, and which actually is making them to lead with Gen AI? The leaders, they are basically leveraging Gen AI as a very powerful enabler for competitive advantage. See, the reason we are in business and we grow in business is because not that only that we are delivering good, we are pricing very competitively or whatever, we are pricing very low, our customers love us. One of the reasons is that there is a competition and we are better than the competition. And leaders today, the way technology is advancing and the way knowledge is getting democratized, only the one who has the speed and that knowledge is basically able to compete in the market. So basically, Gen AI, when it is being used in the right way for the right task, the leaders, they are using the capabilities of Gen AI to boost the performance. their performance. And then when it comes to their performance, we say it may be the sales performance, it may be the delivery performance, it may be the operational performance. And what are the attributes they are seeing? The 5 common attributes what we are seeing, what we have seen, or what we can go out and see in these leaders is basically they're ready to learn, whether it is an organization or whether it's an individual. They're open to learn and change fast. They're not getting stuck into it. Nobody is still anywhere saying the way earlier we used to hear, I am a Java programmer, I am a .NET programmer. Today, anybody dare say that? Or today, somebody dare say that, no, I am only a XYZ. Because today, earlier we used to look at positions, or basically the entire organization used to be structured around jobs, the jobs to be done, because that's a part of the industrial schema of things. In the industrial age, everything was around jobs. So everybody is doing them. Somebody doing an accounting job, somebody doing a sales job, somebody doing a marketing job, somebody doing a finance job. Today, it is not about jobs. The entire market is redefining itself. The entire organization is redefining. Today, it is about skills. How many skills you have? I'm a good marketing guy, but I also have a great analytics skills. I'm a good sales guy, but I also have a good understanding of the business domain. I have say requirements gathering skills. I'm a good accounting guy, but I also have skills of procurement. So today, organizations are getting restructured. The future of work is getting restructured around skills and not around jobs. And these leaders, they are building these skills. They have a core skill, and then they are building around the adjacent skills. And how? They are leveraging GenAI. They're approaching technology with curiosity. Every company today is a technology company. There is very few companies, or there is a very few sectors in the industry left, or rather, I have my doubts that is there any sector left which has not been touched by technology. So irrespective of the industry, irrespective of the sector, irrespective of the role in which they are, they're approaching technology with curiosity and saying, okay, what can it do for me? And they're not holding on to it. They're changing with it. Is there any better way to do it? And they're changing, they're switching. They're not afraid of experimenting and failing. And they are building those testing capabilities. Now, this is not only with individuals or not only with organizations, this is with individuals also. They're identifying the most feasible use cases, and they are not measuring the KPIs, they're measuring the business metrics, they're measuring the outcomes. And of course, everything they are building and doing is by building trust and, of course, managing the risks. And there's a different framework even itself today for managing risk with AI, which is basically what we call as the responsive AI. So this is exactly how the leaders are working around leveraging GenAI as a competitive advantage for them. And this is exactly how things are moving forward. Now, it is time for us to stand, to hold ourselves and sit and ask ourselves, where are we? Where are we? What are we doing? How much are we ready to cope up with the future? Because now we know that it is no more a hype. No, it is no more a hype. It is a reality now. So how prepared are we for this reality? That is the question which we need to have today with us. And that is the answer which we need to find for ourselves. And as I said, these 5 points, these 5 things, possibly you will find your answers in these 5 points. So with that, I end this presentation over here. But I would like to stop over here and have a discussion, or have any question. If you guys have any questions, take those questions and try to discuss around that. So please feel free to ask any questions. You can unmute yourself and ask a question, or you may type in the chat. Okay. Anyone else? Just hold on for a second, guys. I think there is something wrong with my speaker. I may have missed. I may have missed anything. Anybody said something? So just hold on for a second. I may connect. Let me connect my earphone. Sorry about this. Just hold on for a second, folks. Yeah, go ahead, please. I hope now I can hear you. Gaurav, you had
Can
anything
you hear
to...
me now? Gaurav this side?
Yeah. Yeah, Gaurav, go ahead.
Sorry?
Go ahead, Gaurav.
Super. I was asking the question in the middle. I think you were unable to hear me. So, Abhijit, so one question and one thought around the GenAI. So, question is around the public platform that is there right now, Chat GPT, open platform. So, while we are saying that the companies are saying let's not use OpenAI, let's not put too much of information in there because of the secrecy confidential issue. But my question is, how can we control if the evaluator is doing that? If the companies where we are submitting the proposal, if they are putting our information in the open forum and evaluating, so just apprehensive about the thought process which the companies are having right now, that let's not use it. What's the control that the procurement team of the client is not using it? So any thoughts around that?
See, so for first thing, there are two issues here. That's what I say. If you see the last slide, I said trust and responsibility. If I am having a trust in my buyer, or if I am having a trust in my seller, I will not do that, right? Because it's a matter of trust. Trust becomes very important over here, because you cannot stop anyone. Okay, once you have submitted your, like, let me give you an example. You know something, the biggest number of proposals, who is the guy who is having the biggest number of proposals? Is basically the customer or the government.
Government, yeah.
Yeah.
The number of proposals there. Now, if the government says that, okay, all these, because they always say that once you have submitted a proposal, it is my property, right? And they make you say that in the RFP, that if there is any confidential information, please do not put it or mark it that this is confidential. But rest all other information is the property of the customer. And it is the customer's choice whether they want to put it on the net or they don't want to put it. Tomorrow, if the government says that I am going to create a LLM and I am going to train it with all the proposals I have received over last 20 years, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
But let me tell you another thing also. There is something I used this in the Samagam Ahmedabad, which is basically certain things. Basically, there's a term, you can Google it and check for it. The conspiracy of Laity, Laity, conspiracy of the Laity. It was a term coined by George Bernard Shaw, which means that we create certain apprehensions or fears around everything. Okay. Just to keep that limited, just to keep that skill or that capability limited. Okay. And this has been done over the years. And that is the reason why only a doctor can, or a nurse, or a pharmacist can hear or read, or can understand what a doctor is saying, or read what a doctor is writing. Do you think that doctors are so bad in their handwritings, are so bad that only the pharmacist can read it or no one else can read it? It's intentional.
Yeah.
Do you think the legal terms which are being used by the lawyers and in the contracts, they are willfully, they are there only because there is no other term which can define them? Every legal term can be defined by a simple term, right? But those have been done so that they can create their own niche. Okay. They have their own niche. So likewise, there's a conspiracy of lighty around every new technology which comes in. When cloud came in, people used to say, even those who were selling cloud, they used to say, we don't put our data on the cloud. But they were selling cloud solutions. I have met such people. Today, tell me of an organization which does not have its data on the cloud. And what is let me ask you, Gaurav, what is the most important data for you, for your organization? Just think about it. What is the most important information or data about of your organization?
Related to customer financial data.
For each,
it is your customer
for me,
data, right?
Dada, it will be for each.
From a business perspective, I'm talking about it from business perspective, not from a proposal. I'm talking for any business, the most important data is its customer's data, the information about its customer, because
Agreed.
everything around the business is for the customer. You create the product for the customer, you create the pricing for the customer, you create the sales strategy for the customer, everything is for the customer, right?
Correct.
And where do you store your customer data? You store it in your CRM, right? In your Salesforce. Where is your Salesforce data?
In the cloud, yeah.
So what do you think?
And that's,
when your most important vital data for your business itself is out of your control, do you think your proposal data would make any sense? And secondly, let me tell you, when you upload a document into a LLMS, it does not store the document the way you are storing. You have to understand the LLMS. That's why it is very important that everybody knows how a LLMS works. It breaks down the entire content and stores it in something what we call as a vector database. Okay. It's a mathematical model, is a vector data. Vector database, just to give you an analogy of a vector, what is a vector database? Is something like the index of a book, not the list of content, but the index at the end of the book, which gives you the occurrence of the word in the book. You have seen that index of the books, right?
Yeah.
That is exactly how the vector database, not exactly how, but in a similar way, the vector database stores the content which you are uploading, right? Now, if I give you the index of any book, would you be able to construct the content out of it?
No.
Now imagine all the constructs of all the books, all the proposals of the world, all the proposals that particular customer has said, when once uploaded into its vector database, is it possible for a human being to reconstruct the entire proposal out of it, because you don't have it. The way you cannot reconstruct a book out of the index, although the index has got all the words which that book has, right? But no human being can reconstruct a book out of it, because what is important is the context. And that context is stored mathematically in the form of number. First thing, computers do not understand language. Do you think whatever you're uploading, the computer understand? No. Computers don't understand that. Computer only understand numbers. The machine learning algorithms have been designed in such a way that they can take a word, assign it a number, and not only a number, but assign it multiple dimensions. And those dimensions of those parameters can be in billions, which basically define the context of that word in that particular sentence. It will take me one full session to make you understand, to explain how LLMs work. But maybe we'll
understanding this. Yeah. So that was a question, Ada, and the thought around when you presented that slide, that where are we heading? So just a thought around it. So when data was democratized basically in 2016, if we talk about India example, everybody started using 3G, 4G, now 5G we are using. It's everybody's in the pocket. So with that, what we have seen is there used to be few handful of if we talk about Bollywood industry, or if we talk about the entertainment industry, there were few handful of companies who were running the show, the movies, the entertainment. But today, if you have that in you just have a mobile phone and you have a internet connection, you can be a great influencer, you can be a director, producer, whatever entertainment form you want to foray into. So keeping that analogy here in the point which you were saying, when such a massive technology has hit us, where we are not only automating the works which are repetitive in nature, we are now moving ahead in the thinking dimension. So for me, basically, this will, for our proposal and bid management domain, it will increase the number of proposals for the procurement team. It will so anybody, any 2-person company, 1-person company can now fight with any $500 million company. If you are good in execution things, if you can deliver it with your capabilities within the timelines, stipulated timelines, and also I think going forward, execution will have much more impact than the rosy proposals which we have been submitting, because now the documentation in the proposal is something which the procurement guys will get left, right, and center. Now their job will definitely increase. So again, 2-3 points in this thought.
So let me go back and show you something what I had already shown. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay, just let me go back here. If you see this one, what we were talking about, these 3 things. What you talked about of execution is nothing but the experience, right? How does the customer experience you, right? That is actually going to be the experience. GenAI is actually improving that. It is also improving the insight, and it is also improving the efficiency. So it doesn't matter what is your site, what is your size, what is the efficiency with which you are working, what is the speed, how many people, what is the quality of the experience you are delivering, whether it's, as I said, it's the operational experience, product experience, operational experience, sales experience, interaction experience, every type of experience. And what are the insights? GenAI is impacting all the 3 value layers.
Yeah.
So when you have this, there is no way that you can say that, no, I can do without it. So it is already there. It is not that it is not. It
That
is
makes
not.
me think of a like.
Yeah.
It is making level playing field for everyone. Yeah. So everybody is coming on the same level now. As you have said that it doesn't matter the size of the company, the size of the organization. So yeah, it's more of, again, going back to that analogy of internet boom. I think it's level playing field for everyone. Yeah.
So everything is changing. There is a difference in the entire way things are happening here. Okay, the entire mindset is different. The entire way you have to think is different. That is the, unfortunately, we are so bounded by the process-based thinking that we think that these are the only things which we have to do. But it is no more that. And we cannot say that what we know today will be relevant tomorrow or not. So
Abhijit,
that is the.
like Rohit this side, I have a question.
Yeah, Rohit, please go ahead.
Abhijit, I wanted to understand, like, what do you see, like, for particularly if you look at the bid and proposal management processes? So, like, want to understand, like, is there any, tool already being developed by a company to, address to this process? And like, and my another question would be, like, what do you think if, like, there would be a general tool which, which the companies would, purchase, and the instances they will take, and then they'll train itself, or it would be a captive development for every company, like basis their requirement. AI tools that will help them in the bid and proposal management.
Good question, Rohit, and let me answer you here. There will be two specific categories here. One will be the general purpose tool or general purpose content, which is available in the public domain. And then there will be content which is specific for your organization, specific to your particular industry, or specific to your particular company. Okay. So your LLM will have to basically store these two content together and know which content it is internal, which content it has to fetch from outside, or which is available out. Okay. Now, the way organizations are working, what I have seen in some of the very leading organizations which have implemented GenAI based platforms within their organizations, they have taken the fine-tuned, they have taken the foundation models which are available from these LLM providers like OpenAI or Google, or even now, or every cloud infrastructure, every infrastructure guy is now going to come out with their own LLM. It will become like LLM will be a service now. Is a service now. Okay. So they will be taking these LLM, the foundation model LLM, then they will be fine-tuning it with their own content. They will be fine-tuning that content. They will be adding more. They'll be basically what we call is that human led training of the content will happen, and it will continually happen. It will continue. They will continually. They will keep continually doing it. What we call as the reinforcement learning. So there will be a reinforcement learning of the final.
Yeah, correct. Got it.
And then it will never reach a level of maturity, because every time it will learn and do something better. It will be continually doing it. Okay. So organizations are taking the LLM's foundation. There's no point in reinventing the entire wheel.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. And now, now I can make sense of it. Yes. So like they can take the instance and they can train basis the capabilities or the proposals they have already developed.
Yeah.
So that the proposals that the tool can generate would be more aligned to the organization rather than.
I don't want to take the name of the company here, but it's one of the leading companies, global companies, last month, they released a pilot project for their entire global proposal team. They have done it only for, I think,
Okay.
some specific industry sectors with some, I think, some number of proposals. And what I hear from the experiences is like, it's amazing. It has already cut down the efforts by 40 to 50%. And then what they are saying that
So
they have,
Abhijit, like,
yeah.
So sorry, Abhijit, please go on. Sorry.
And what they are saying is that they have only addressed, I think, 8 or 10 use cases out of the 60 use cases which they have 60 or 65 use cases which they have identified only within the sales enablement domain. Now, if you guys have been following me on LinkedIn, you may have seen that in last 2 posts, I shared some 10 use cases on bid management and 10 use cases on proposal management. Now, those are use cases which can be straightforward implemented.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't need any ML machine learning training.
Correct.
You don't need any other training on that. You just need to know how to write a good prompt. And you can do it. But behind that, prompt, so you will write in the interval, but behind that LLM, the tuning of that LLM is the big job.
Correct.
The tuning of the LLM,
Yeah,
the
we have
labeling.
to fit in the right data.
Yeah, the labeling, not even the right data, the labeling of the data. That this is a cat.
Correct.
So here, basically, if you show an image of a cat, you'll write this is a cat. So cat is this. How does the computer know there is a cat or a dog? Because somebody labeled it, and they labeled it 100 times. Different postures of cats, different types of cats. So then they say, okay, this is what it is. So you have to understand. So basically, what I'm saying is that if you understand the basics of the LLM, how the LLM works, and there are some wonderful videos on the internet. You can just simply, only thing is that you need to sit and watch and understand. But if the way you have to have data fluency, the way you had to have digital fluency, now is the time when you have to have GenAI fluency. Because without that, you are like, okay, it's a generation, it will be a generation different generation. So fine, I think we have crossed the time limit. It is 8:10. You guys want to continue? I can show you something, or maybe we can have another session where I can show you a lot of these use cases, which are the things. But anyway, as I promised, I will show you something at least. Let me show you at least how these images I created. Yeah, let me go. I actually had planned of something else also. Okay. Yeah. Don't look at my chat GPT because I use chat GPT for everything, whatever I do. Okay. Yeah.
Your screen is frozen, Abhijit.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
frozen.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let me share new screen.
It would have been great if you look at your chat. So,
Okay.
all right. Great.
Okay. Anyway, you can see on the left hand side all the things that I have done. Okay, for which I use schedule. So see, this is the prompt I wrote. Imagine you're a graphic guy. I want to create a cover slide for a PowerPoint presentation. The image should have a. I just simply gave this point, and it generated these images.
Wow.
Now I took that images.
That's amazing.
And then I refined it. Okay. So you see, this is how And you just need, and today it is not one tool. The good thing is that today there are so many frameworks available which you need. If you have a little understanding of how to work with APIs or some basic Python coding, or even some scripting, you can combine multiple AI tools together and generate the outcomes, which you call frameworks like LangChain and others. You can create anything out of it. Today, earlier you used to have two separate AI platforms. Like one is an image generation platform, another is a prompt text generation platform. Today, within these prompts, if you can see within the text generation chat GPT itself, I am using this. I'm using generating the images out of here. Okay. And this is only one type of image I have generated. I can do anything out of it. I can go out and here, say suppose I go here. Now, okay, I can simply just a second. Okay, for some of them you have to actually now we have this like where is that? Okay. So this survey which you guys were talking about, right? What I did is that I have downloaded the survey results and I have simply uploaded it here. Okay. This is the survey. Now, if I want to summarize it, I don't have to do anything. It is simply asking me what do you want me to do? If I simply write here, come and here. I'm not even opening it. And if I open up that Excel sheet and show you, you will know what that Excel sheet would look like. There are 30 questions, 40 questions in that survey. 39 questions.
But is this not a boon? Like, is this not like a disadvantage for, like how you mentioned, limiting the human thoughts? So people will get more not interested to learn things.
No, it is basically earlier I would have to go to the Excel sheet. If I open that Excel sheet and I will show you that Excel sheet here. Impact. Yeah, sorry. If I gave that Excel sheet to any one of you and asked you, can you tell me anything out of it? You will say 5 days. Okay. Now this is the Excel sheet. You see? Now, can I look into this Excel sheet and make any sense out of it here? I have to go row by row, question by question, try to understand what it is, right?
Right.
And I will not open it itself. Whereas here, okay, where now I have the analysis of the data generated. I have the entire data over here available here. Now what I am going to do is that, please tell me what are the general sentiments of the participants. Generic questions. Now this question, if I would asked anybody given that Excel sheet and asked, what would have they said? Now you have the entire thing. Somebody has already done the thought. Now it is doing an analysis of it and It is giving you. Now you are limited. Now you're thinking. Now you can go wild and think. Think of anything. Now come on, think of anything what you want to ask. Rather, it is freeing your thought process. That what all things can I do?
So someone has to still validate it, right, Abhijit? So this Vikshita this side. So this, despite you get these results, you still have to go back and validate if it is correct or
Now,
not.
exactly. That is basically what fine tuning is.
Yeah.
That the moment you tune it accurate, make it as accurate it can be, it will increase the accuracy factors. The moment you reach to a particular accuracy level, still you have leveraged the part. Now imagine that part of how much of data cleansing work would have needed, how much of thought process and everything would have been needed. Today I am sitting in front of you and just giving it a 2-line command or 1-line natural language command, and it is doing it. Now, yes, your question is that do I need to validate it? But everything does not need to be validated. If there is something which is already existing and I don't need to make any decision in that, say suppose if you have a content related to about your company's profile, which is already you have uploaded in your LLMS, would you go and validate whether if it is a financial record or something, maybe you need to validate it. But if it is that static data which is not going to change anytime and where there is no risk of it, you don't need to even validate that, right? And after you have reached to that level of accuracy, that is basically the fine tuning. That is exactly why you have this reinforcement learning. When you have done that reinforcement learning again and again, you will have a level of. Now, what is the accuracy of even a human being? We were not sure of the accuracy of the human being. That's why the reason we automated with systems, right? With compute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I think basically it will be dependent on how good you train your tool.
Yeah,
Prompts.
it is. So now you see, effectiveness in bid and participants believe that AI is moderately effective in facilitating bid and bid decision making. The majority of responses lie between 5 and 8 on a scale of 0 to 10, indicating a positive but cautious outlook. See the level of inference it is generating. Was it possible for a human being in 5 minutes or 10 minutes to look at it and tell me this all?
Yeah, no doubt it's time saving as well as you get a lot of data that humans otherwise would have taken up plenty of time to arrive at.
Now that you have saved that time, use it for better creative thinking.
Yes, that's right.
What ChatGPT cannot do or what GenAI cannot do. Think of that and think of how you will use GenAI to make it do it. That is that.
Yeah, so will this also like from the Excel which you put in, so if I need to build out a graphical representation, will that also be possible with this, or is it a different tool which you mentioned earlier, like when you were talking about stable diffusion or a DALI that needs to be used something?
I will show you. Please provide. And I'm writing a very vague prompt. Huh? I've written the most vague prompt I could write. But anyway, I see. Oh, easily. See, this is what exactly you have to see.
This is good.
So what I want to say, what I want to bring here is that the possibilities are limitless. It is totally on you how you leverage it and the basic skills which you need to have to leverage. And what are those basic skills? You need to understand how LLMs work. You need to understand what are the boundaries of that particular tool. What it can do, what it cannot do, where is the risk? You need to understand. And third, you need to understand the most important point is how to communicate it in a what we call as the language, or basically what we call as the prompt engineering. It is not that what I wrote here right now was not actually a prompt engineered prompt. Your prompt as a engineer has to be engineered in the way you write your prompt, the way you get your response, the accuracy, the way you control, even what you are asking about the validation. Even you can do the validation, you can revalidate.
Okay.
You can
So
revalidate within,
yeah. So is there any kind of like a training or something that that could help us get more or dive more deeper into this, like where we could improve on our prompts, or where we could get to know how much more we could use these tools to our abilities on a day-to-day work? Is there something which you would have a suggestion from your end, Abhijit?
Yeah, we do. I think we do have some training. I do conduct some training programs, specific training programs, and specifically for bid and proposal management functions, basically roles. All those 20 use cases which I shared, and many more than that, we cover in the training programs. I will share the details with you.
Perfect. That would be great. I think that would be helpful. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Geeta, you are there, right? Geeta is a participant from our past training program. Geeta, would you like to share something about your
That's an
experience?
excellent course. And to add to it, we had Abhijit share his thoughts during Chennai Samagam as well. So everything put together, I have learned a lot. And these prompts, they are so useful. It's just that companies don't allow us to use chat GPTs within their systems because of security reasons. I think Gaurav mentioned that. But then for our own purpose, it's just great. Thanks, Abhijit. I really appreciate the pains that you take to bring us all.
It's not a pain. It's rather like, because I get to learn so much from you guys when you do that. You guys are on the real front end. You guys are the real front end warriors. So I get to learn from you, and that is what I put my everything what I learn from you, your problems, I put that into a prompt and try to find a solution for that. So that's exactly how it works. So it's
I
learning for
think
me.
I was a part of your first session. I think I need to retake the session because there are a lot of improvements. I see that on your LinkedIn. So whenever there's your next session, just let me know. I will join that one again.
You're always welcome. That's something which we have as a part of our learning program, that once you have attended a session, that you can attend it n number of times to reinforce your learning without any obligations.
And Abhijit, this is Prabhu here. I would like to echo Geeta on this. And in fact, the session which you took during our Samagam session at Chennai, that was actually an eye opener for me. And in fact, post which I was able to complete a few, GenAI courses through online learning platforms. And apparently there are a lot of initiatives within my organizations where their L&D department is trying to push a lot of trainings around GenAI. So apparently thanks a ton. And I think
you will hear me soon.
Yeah. So yep.
Yeah, I know. Every organization, actually, most of the organizations, I don't know about many other organizations, but most of the organizations have made it a mandate that, like, you have to be digital literate. Now you have to be AI literate, AI fluency. AI fluency is becoming a mandate now.
That's coming up in Dell.
Yeah. So I think we have spent a lot of time today. Thank you, everyone. And I wish you all a very happy Dashera. Maybe before Diwali, we will connect once again. And we will be, I'll be sharing this presentation with you all. I'll be sharing the recording also will be available. So feel free to go through it. And if you are, and what we are trying to do is basically, there are a lot of experts in the Gen AI side, with whom I am connected, who are personally connected with me globally all across. We are trying to bring them all together into one single forum and create that. So maybe we will be trying to do that somewhere after Diwali. But we will start creating a sort of a WhatsApp group and start discussing, because this is something where you cannot remain in isolation. This is, you have to be a part of that community and share and learn from each other. There is no one single book, one single course, or one single everything. It is so changing. Everything you do is new. So that can be only learned when you are in a community. That's the best thing to do. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Have a nice evening. And
Thanks,
have a
Abhijit.
nice.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Abhijit.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Abhijit.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you all.